Good evening here, Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and Aspiring Magazine, and I'm here in Los Angeles, and I'm so happy to have our guest here tonight. We may be having another guest shortly, but for now, we're going to start with this fine gentleman. So if you could please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Grayeyes, and I play Anthony in Meadowlarks.
Yes, and Meadowlarks is going to be at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. I believe your film is the first day, which is January 2nd.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
my
Hi.
understanding.
That's
Um,
fantastic. Yes, I'm coming in for the screening with our director Tasha.
Beautiful. Okay, well, I will be there too. Also,
Oh,
I have a
great.
home there, so hopefully we can meet in person rather than all this zooming.
That would be
So,
lovely.
Michael, your character navigates the emotional aftermath of the '60s scoop through a reunion with long lost siblings. What kind of research or personal reflection did you draw on to portray that intergenerational experience authentically on the screen?
Well, as you probably know, the '60s scoop affected communities all over North America. And our community, I'm originally from Canada, Treaty 6 territory, we were affected greatly by the scoop. So we grew up with this history, unlike, I think a lot of people in the United States and Canada who are unaware of this government policy. So, in fact, we grew up with intimate knowledge of both it and the Indian residential school system. So we've kind of grown up knowing about these policies and how it affected us. So I didn't have to do any historical research, obviously, to prepare myself to play Anthony. But what I was able to do is really rely on the script, the screenplay that we had in front of us, because it was already so beautifully detailed. And our director Tasha herself was scooped, and so she's bringing a kind of lived experience. These are fictional characters, so I relied on her very heavily to help inform who Anthony was.
Yes, and Tasha, once she gets on, if she does, hopefully, I know that this film is an expansion of the documentary Birth of a Family. I kind of wish I would have seen that one first, but at least I got to see this film, your film. The film centers on reconnection and healing. How did working on Meadowlarks affect you personally, especially in terms of understanding or portraying the collective experiences of Indigenous families that were affected by Canada's history?
Well, certainly there's a lot of responsibility in portraying people who are affected by uh, this grim history. But I think as an actor, you sort of have to really focus on the job at hand, which is my experience is singular, and Anthony's pathway, through his life and his story is singular as well. So I try not to layer too much. I guess I'd call it collective storytelling on on a portrayal. I mean, that's really the job of the entire film. That's really the job that a viewer would bring to the experience, and then kind of make connections. My job is to be emotionally authentic to his experience. So actually, it's quite freeing when you're dealing with a project like Meadowlarks that deals with such a wide swath of history. That actually, my job is just to make sure Anthony, is delivered. That people really understand, what he's going through, what happened to him, and so in a way, it's kind of freeing when you just have one job to do.
Yeah. So Meadowlarks has resonated with audiences at other film festivals like TIFF and VIFF. Did you happen to attend those festivals?
Yeah, I was at the premiere at TIFF in the fall in Toronto. That was really incredibly gratifying, really, really powerful experience.
Sweet. What reactions from audiences, especially indigenous viewers, have stood out most to you, and how do you hope the film contributes to broader conversations about identity and belonging and healing?
I think, my own personal experience was that, people who watched the film really, really had a deep emotional response to this idea of a family that was so fractured and coming together, over this weekend. So I think really it landed with, I think both indigenous and non-indigenous audiences, and I'm really gratified by that. Uh, I'm really hopeful that a lot of people get to see the film. Interestingly, the 60s scoop is an area of history that is not widely known. It's not
Yeah.
talked about, certainly not taught in schools. So when we make films like this, films that tell stories that deserve a spotlight, I feel it's a really important part of reclaiming not only our own narratives, but also very importantly, educating audiences to something that unfortunately not enough has been explained or shown.
Yes, I definitely agree to that. Well, as we start to wind down, what are you up to next?
Well, I'm really excited that a show I was working on in Alberta, nearly more than a year ago, called The Abandons. It just premiered on Netflix. So I'm really excited for audiences to see that. It's a very different kind of role. It's a period Western, and the audience response to The Abandons has been really incredibly gratifying for me. So I'm
Oh,
really
good,
excited about that.
good for you, Michael. So how can our viewers and our readers find out more about you and maybe more about Meadowlarks and or anything else that you're up to?
Well, certainly, I try. I'm on social media, so my Instagram account, I often post about the work that I'm doing. I've been very proud to post about Meadowlarks and the abandoned. So hopefully, people will follow me there and hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, so how can they find you? What's your name there on what?
Uh,
Instagram,
it's it's
Facebook?
it's at Michael underscore Grayeyes. So it's my
Okay.
name.
Yeah,
There are
so
a
I'll
lot of
make
fake
sure.
accounts, unfortunately.
Yeah, oh
There's a lot of
really?
fake accounts.
Oh
Um,
shoot.
but uh, but I think I have a blue check mark, so that
Okay,
makes it
that
a little easier.
helps. Okay, cool. Well, it sure was nice meeting you virtually, and I'm sure we'll see you in Palm Springs. We're the Hollywood Times dot today and aspiringmagazine.com, and our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official. So keep up the good work, and we will get Tasha back on here at another time.
Thank you so much, Valerie. A real
Thank you.
pleasure.
Have a good evening.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.